Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ninth house with Prashant Trivedi. Today, we are going to be going into the truth and the core of what the ninth house is really about. Now, in the West, we are taught that the ninth house, of course, is the house of Sagittarius. It rules law, it rules the father, it rules spirituality and philosophy, also long distance travels. So please illuminate us, Prashant, with the ninth house.
Right, Julie. So the thing about the ninth house is that, again, like all the other houses, is that we start from the house before, right? So like we won the eighth house last time, and in eighth house we learned that everything ends. Okay, we were learning that everything ends. It could, yeah, like out here ends. So when everything ends out here, then like you're not going to take, when you leave this body, you're not going to take your house or money or any of these things. Everything's going to stay here. So then what is actually important? The eighth house, you go and discover in deep to find out. You dive deep to find out what actually is important. Okay. And that's when the ninth house comes. Because you have to know what is important, and for that you need someone to guide you. So that's why it's the guru. It's the house of the guru. Ninth house is primarily the house of guru, some being which can actually tell you what is important, because you learned by yourself that this is not important, this is not important, that's not important, this is not important. Okay, so what actions are actually important? What are you supposed to do in a human birth? What is the meaning of human life? Like all these questions are eighth house questions actually. Okay, but the answer comes in nine. Okay. So because that's where you understand that, okay, these things I can't totally figure out by myself. Okay, I'm gonna need some help here, like Jim said. You realize that. So that wisdom dawns upon you. So once you go down the rabbit hole of it, like some people, once they go down on the rabbit hole of it, they might not come out at all, because it's so much there, like that you go, like lose your mind if especially if the first 2 7 houses are not working fine. I said, like, if the discipline is not happening in the previous houses, and I already said that an eighth house can be dangerous in that way. But if you other houses are working and you use eighth house properly, you will come out into the ninth with the understanding that you have to learn what is important. Okay, so then spirituality, guru, meditation, all of those things will follow automatically, because you are getting into this the whole zone of what has to be done on this plane as a human being. So
That's wonderful. And like just doing a practical example, what would like a moon in Virgo in the ninth look like in Uttara Falguni?
see, like ninth house, anything is like uh, any planet that is there, is will tell you like what kind of like a guru principle you'll be attracted towards, or like Jim said, or that kind of thing. That's all. Like, so like if moon is there, then it will be more lunar. If sun is there, it's more solar. Mars is there, it's more Martian. Okay, like what appeals to you in that way, or sometimes what will actually come different times, you know
Okay.
what will actually happen for you, and in which type of energy you respond to in that way better, like Jim said. So that is the thing. But another thing with ninth house is that, where with the whole guru principle is that once you are ready to have that wisdom, that you will have to listen and apply and learn, basically listen, learn and apply. You're humble enough for that. I'm saying. Then how that humility comes also, I'm saying, and how that humility manifests can be by the sign of the 9,000, the graha, which is in there, so so 9,000, so 9,000 can also do that, so that's an important thing about the that it's the guru principle. which is the most important part of the ninth house, because for example, in eighth house, you will also go into, you'll come to know that when you actually do the research, eighth house is research, right? So you'll research and then, oh, this is not the only plane of existence, Earth. There are other planes of existence. You'll come to know about, there are planes of existence above, there are planes of existence below. These are hidden things, right? Hidden knowledge. Okay, but you have learned all of that in eighth house. Okay, you have learned that there is more to things than meets the eye, right? You have learned all of that. Now comes the question, okay, now what? Like, how do I get to the higher plane then? Now you know there are higher planes, and this is the plane, this is not the only plane of existence. Then you have to find out, how do I get there? Okay, for that you need a roadmap, you need a guide, which is again Guru. You come to ninth house. In ninth house, you will learn how to get there, what to do, the application, I'm saying. And like once that group principle is there, and you have to have more reference to it, you have to be receptive to it, because if you're not receptive, I'm saying, and if you're not humble, and if you're not grateful, and like if you don't have this right kind of attitude, which is a great attitude, gratitude, like, okay, if you don't have the right attitude towards the group principle, you can never learn and apply. Okay, so you can never reach your goal. So whatever you have found out from eighth house, you can't take it forward, basically, unless you like follow the guidelines of the ninth. Okay.
So is that what the ninth really is about? Because you know how they say it rules the law. So is the law just the guidelines?
The guidelines. The law is the law of the multiversal law.
Okay. So the multiversal law is in the ninth house.
Yes, obviously.
Okay.
Yes. So that's the law we're talking about here. Okay, but obviously that's not going to be taught to you in any school out here. There's no law school on earth which teaches. Okay, right. So that has to be taught by a being which knows and actually has experience and knows those things and have experienced them in person, in this lifetime, another lifetime. So whatever their experience have been in this multiverse as a whole, so then accordingly that being can guide you, like, and tell you what, and then how you have to behave with that being and how you have to deal with that being, who is telling you and teaching you and things like that, because there are protocols and laws for that too, So all of that comes under ninth house. All of that.
Is that the misconception with the dad? Because the dad they were trying to say was the guide, but because that's faulty, it truly is the guru. Because
because earlier, what happens was that when you were small, okay, and early, like in that thing, even the parents, father at the time, would have some knowledge, okay, about what to do and what not to do and things like that, which might not be the case now. In these times, but at the time everybody had to have some basic education in these matters, spiritual matters, so quote unquote spiritual matters. Okay, so the father could also play that role depending on whatever level he knows up till. But then whenever you reach the limit of that, then you will have to take some other guru or something which knows beyond that, So ninth, that's why it is like that. That is a beginning thing, father, you already born with that. That person is already there, which wants to obviously guide you a little bit in whatever capacity they can, right? Right. So, and then comes the next thing, which knows better. So, all beings might not be happy just with their father or whatever their father knows or the level they know at. That might not be enough for a lot of beings, right? So then they have to move one step forward to the guru, like some being which knows much more and can guide them much more, and they might have more ambition as to what level they want to achieve in this lifetime. So all of this whole thing comes in the ninth house. So.
And what is the correlation with the long distance travel?
Right. Okay. We were in the third. Now we'll come to the third and ninth axis. Okay. Third was what? Short journeys.
Courage.
Short journeys.
Yes.
Yeah, you just went out from your house up to the market and you brought something and you brought it back, and you remember you came back home. Like, every time you went out of the house 4,000, went for a little that thing, and then you came back. That's all third house, right? People can go back to the third house one, and then they will remember that. Okay, so opposite of that, opposite of short journeys is long journey.
Long journeys, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Long journeys is like, it basically means that, once you are going for the guru and that thing, there's any length you're ready to go for that. There is nothing, there's no limit to it. If you have to go around the whole earth for that, you will do so.
Wow. Yeah, that
So
makes sense.
That's the whole point. It's not a short thing. Like short journey is like, okay, you just go up to the local market, buy some vegetable, and that's third house. Okay, and that thing and stuff like so. Ninth house is like you're ready to do much more.
Yeah, symbolic of like the spiritual journey, the spiritual path. It's not a quick 3-month thing. It's a lifetime journey.
It's a lifetime. On top of that, like in a physical way also, like like when the knights used to go on a whole journey and stuff to find something, like like you're really seeking something. So for some time for that you might have to travel far.
Yeah.
To even seek the guru, you might have to travel far. It might not be just in your vicinity. Like just like the vegetable person or that thing or grocery store is in your vicinity, but the guru is not necessarily in your vicinity. Okay, that you will find something within the 2-mile radius or 10-mile radius or 20-mile radius, everything. You have to go further than that physically, like so, and you're ready to do that. That's ninth house, right? Yeah, like if they is that spirit that like if I have to walk to the ends of the earth, I will, like whatever. If I have to go to the whatever to find what is required. So it's that kind of house, and it has to have that kind of spirit and that kind of energy about it to actually do the things. If you don't have that kind of spirit, you can't really apply the ninth house. Actually.
Yeah, it's like, would it be accurate to say that you need that courage from the third house to bring the ninth too?
Yes. So I mean, again, they're complementing, right? We said like instead of opposing, like which we have said in the houses before, like they're complementing. Okay, third house courage is useful in the ninth house.
Yes.
Yeah, but you have to look more like that thing than that. Like you can't look in a short span around you in third house span. Like here you have to be wider, open. That it might not be in your country even. It might not be in your culture even, the guru or that thing, Jim saying. You have to be able to go past all of that. Your neighborhood.
Yes.
Yes.
And
like it's like a frog in a pond sort of situation. You're in one frog in a one pond, and then you might have to come out of that pond or like that well, frog in a well, and comes out of the well and then sees there's a whole way big world out there. It's not just that opening up of the consciousness and the spirit. You know what I'm saying? We don't, not just a frog trapped in the well. That's the ninth house. Okay. So expanding that thing, like so, and here like it is a whole spirit like that. There's nothing which you won't do for that, because 8th house you already delved deep. Now you are very, very that thing, like you are like, okay, I have to get this, like you're already in that way. So that's when 9th house, because it takes over from the 8th house research and all of that, which makes you like if you've done the 8th house things already, that means you're already serious about something. Like it shows some seriousness that you've done that research and all of that. So in 9th, you take it further.
Like it brings purpose and spiritual essence to all that 8th house digging and researching it.
Yeah. Like now you were saying like, okay, I've done that and now I've come to know these things, and now I know that I'll have to find that I'll have to find the right thing to follow, and right thing to do, right thing to follow, right thing to do. All this right is 9th. James saying so, and for that, like there is nothing which you won't do like that. That's the spirit of the 9th house.
Yes, And
Yeah.
I just wanted to share with the viewers because
Yeah.
that are into chart analysis. So I live in America and PT lives in the UK. And I have my moon in the 9th house and it's in Uttara Falguni. And PT's
Yes.
moon is also in Uttara Falguni. So
Yes.
when I see this in my chart, it literally shows the relationship with my spiritual teacher, being in a
Yeah.
foreign place, long distance. It even
Yeah.
brings the energy of your own moon. So it's
Yes.
like
Yes.
it's
Yes.
so
Yeah.
precise in the chart, at least in
Yes.
my
Yeah, I mean, sometimes things can be seen in the, for what people should understand is that things are not always in the main chart, the front chart. They can be in the charts below and things like that. So astrology is a deep science, so they can be hidden in ranges much below. But I was just trying to, yeah, like this is 9th house is that like it might be something which is outside of your, like, you know, country, of your scope, of what you come from, the viewpoint, completely different viewpoint and things like that, you know. It's truly foreign, like the word foreign is applied. Like the word foreign in English means foreign things, you know, foreign language, foreign cultures, foreign things, right? Which is 9th house, right? So which is why is it, because you have to open up your mind so beyond the neighborhood and what you're born into or what you've learned or, you know, what you've grown up in, and you have to really rise above that in this house, you know. So that's the thing about this house, you know.
Yes. And one last thing, I mean, it's just something that I'm thinking of is you were talking about applying the aspect of the planet in relation. So for example, like my moon is a very lunar energy, but Uttara Falguni, if I'm not
It's a
mistaken,
solar,
by the
it's solar,
sun, right? So immediately when I think of that, I think of a balance, you know, the
it's a
male
balance. Yeah,
female principle with the centering and the
yeah,
meditation.
that's when the nakshatra comes in, you know, because nakshatra is one level below the sign already.
Yeah.
But the nakshatra has padas, and then there are more levels and levels. But yeah, but in that 2 levels, it's balancing.
Yeah,
From
so
the
I
first level
see
to the
that,
second.
and that's
Yeah.
your main teaching, you know, the centering,
Yeah.
the
So
balance.
balance. Yeah, balance. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for centering and all of that. So yes. So that's the thing. So 9th house is actually like obviously like taking you away and away from the things. Like for example, you are like in a local area and you've been born into something, and that thing, you know, like the frog in the well, and you have this thing, and then you go past that, you know, expanding on earth, taking in different foreign cultures and foreign things and foreign stuff, and then you can at some point go past the whole earth thing itself. You know, you can widen it beyond any earth, like, because another plane right now, like whether it's planes above earth or planes below earth, they are very foreign to earth people, right? They don't know anything about them, and even if they go there, they will not know anything, you know, what are they about, what are they like. So that's real foreign stuff, right?
Yeah.
You know, so which is beyond even earth. So once you start doing like that, that's the next step of 9th house, which takes you beyond earth plane, beyond cycle of birth and death as a human being here. So
Wow, that's so profound.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but you start somewhere, like, you know, you take steps, but you're growing like that, and then finally out of here completely, you know. So, and to prepare for that, because if you have to go into a higher plane of existence or anything, now that is a foreign place for you, which you don't know the laws of, but you out here learn the laws, you prepare for that, and then you will be granted entry there because you are ready for it.
Wow.
Because on the earth time, by the time you had here, you prepared for it, you know, you learned what it is about, you learned what they're about. So that's another foreign travel, that's a bigger foreign travel. Like,
yes.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
The 9th house is like preparation to
Yeah.
other planes as well.
Yeah, transcend.
Transcendence.
Yeah. So first you're transcending your own local area, neighborhood. Then you're transcending that thing, and then you're transcending whole earth, that thing. So it goes on that levels. So that's the 9th house.
It really shows how important this house is. It's vital.
Yeah, it's obviously it's one of the core 159 axis, which I call the first, fifth, ninth. Self, your body, and then your intelligence, fifth, and ninth is this. So this triangle has to connect, you know. Yes.
It's fascinating.
Body, mind, spirit. So it's an important triangle here. And third house, courage. You can use in ninth house, whatever courage you're getting from the third house, because ninth house will require courage to step out, because stepping out into the unknown is the biggest. And eighth house is also giving that courage, because you already dug deep in eighth house. Okay, so you had some blue pill, red pill moments all the time in the eighth house. So then you take that over to the ninth house. So that's an important bit. Okay, so I think that's a final good note for ninth house, this transcendence and expanding consciousness, so that you actually are able to get out of cycle of birth and death and take your spirit out to higher planes of existence. That's the goal. In ninth house, you set the goal for that. Like what actions and like meaning of life, everything, human life. What am I supposed to do here? What am I born for? Which people have questions like that all the time. But all these questions have answers in the ninth house. After the eighth house, learning everything is transitory here. Everything ends. Everything is, which you learned in the eighth house already. So that's, yes.
Beautiful. Well, so grateful for you sharing this knowledge with us all.
Yes.
And we'll see you all next month for the 10th house.